Next, we move on to specification number 2, which asks us to outline the nitrogen cycle in making nitrogen available for plant and animal protein, limited to decomposition of plant and animal protein to ammonium ions, nitrification, nitrogen fixation by lightning and bacteria, absorption of nitrate ions by plants, production of amino acids and protein, feeding and digestion of proteins, and denitrification. So, let's understand the nitrogen cycle step by step. The nitrogen cycle is the continuous movement of nitrogen between the atmosphere, soil, plants, animals, and microorganisms. Nitrogen is an essential element because it is needed to make amino acids, which are the building blocks of proteins. It is also required for the formation of DNA and RNA. Although about 78% of the Earth's atmosphere is made up of nitrogen gas, most living organisms cannot use it directly because the nitrogen molecules are held together by a very strong triple bond. Therefore, nitrogen must first be converted into usable forms before plants and animals can benefit from it. The cycle begins when nitrogen enters the soil through the waste products of animals and the remains of dead plants and animals. Animals produce nitrogen-containing waste such as urea in their urine. When this waste enters the soil, decomposers break it down, releasing ammonia, which dissolves in water to form ammonium ions. Similarly, when plants and animals die, bacteria and fungi decompose their tissues. During this process, proteins are broken down into ammonia in a process called ammonification. The ammonia then forms ammonium ions in the soil. This decomposition is essential because it recycles nitrogen instead of allowing it to be lost from the ecosystem. Another important process is nitrogen fixation, which converts atmospheric nitrogen gas into forms that plants can use. Nitrogen-fixing bacteria carry out this process in the soil. Some live freely in the soil, while others live inside the root nodules of leguminous plants such as peas, beans, and clover. In return for nitrogen compounds, these plants provide the bacteria with sugars, making this a mutualistic relationship. Nitrogen can also be fixed naturally by lightning. The enormous energy released during lightning breaks the strong bond between nitrogen atoms, producing nitrogen oxides that dissolve in rainwater and enter the soil as nitrates. Once ammonium ions are present in the soil, they are converted into nitrates through a process called nitrification. This process is carried out by nitrifying bacteria and takes place in well-aerated soils where oxygen is available. First, ammonium ions are converted into nitrites. Then, other bacteria convert the nitrites into nitrates. Nitrates are the form of nitrogen that plants absorb most easily and are therefore essential for healthy plant growth. Plants absorb nitrate ions from the soil through their roots by active transport. Inside the plant, these nitrates are used to produce amino acids, which are then combined to form proteins needed for growth, repair, and normal development. Animals obtain nitrogen by feeding on plants or by eating other animals. During digestion, proteins are broken down into amino acids, which are absorbed into the bloodstream and then used to build new proteins in body tissues such as muscles, enzymes, and other important structures. Nitrogen continuously returns to the soil through waste products and decomposition. Animal waste, especially urea, is broken down by decomposers to release ammonia, while dead plants and animals are also decomposed, producing ammonium ions once again. This ensures that nitrogen is constantly recycled within the ecosystem. Nitrogen is removed from the soil through denitrification. In waterlogged or oxygen-poor soils, denitrifying bacteria convert nitrates back into nitrogen gas, which escapes into the atmosphere. This reduces the amount of nitrate available for plant growth and is considered a loss of useful soil nutrients. Farmers often improve soil aeration by plowing to reduce the rate of denitrification. Nitrates can also be lost through leaching. Because nitrates are highly soluble, rainwater can wash them deep into the soil or into rivers and lakes. This decreases soil fertility and may also cause water pollution and eutrophication, where excessive algal growth disrupts aquatic ecosystems. Now, let's relate these processes to this diagram. The diagram shows the complete movement of nitrogen through an ecosystem. Atmospheric nitrogen enters the cycle through biological nitrogen fixation by bacteria and through legume symbiosis. Nitrogen then becomes part of the soil nitrogen pool, from which plants absorb it through their roots. Inside plants, the nitrogen is used to produce proteins and other important compounds. Animals obtain this nitrogen by feeding on plants or other animals, transferring it through the food chain. Waste products and the death of plants and animals return nitrogen to the soil, where decomposers break down the organic matter and release ammonium ions through ammonification. Finally, denitrifying bacteria convert some of the nitrates back into nitrogen gas, returning it to the atmosphere and completing the nitrogen cycle. Throughout this process, nitrogen is continuously recycled, ensuring that it remains available for the production of plant and animal proteins.